Welcome back to the channel. Recently, I did a Fore fuel system on this Gen 2 S550 with a Whipple. This is our experience.
Try to bite your ear real quick, Bobo.
What?
Try to bite your ear. There you go.
A little backstory on this fuel system. We ordered it in December, and we didn't get it until the end of March, so Fore Innovations are still having problems with getting their kits out in time, but this is the best kit you can buy on the market right now, so it's worth the wait in my opinion. Alright, so quick tutorial on how to make an AN line made out of PTFE hose. So you tape up the end before you cut it like I did. That way you could slide your fitting on and off easily. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the tape and then it's going to fan out. So you're going to let your AN line fan out like this. Come on, focus. Alright, and then you're going to trim that 1/8 of an inch. At that point, we're gonna put the olive in there, and it's gonna be like this, and it just goes on there. I'll show you that when I get to that step, but first I'm gonna trim it. So now I have it trimmed, and then you just place the olive or ferrule, whatever thing you want to call it, and you just put it on. You want to be very careful because that metal is sharp. Then I'm gonna take it out the vise, and I'm gonna push it onto my workbench, and then we'll get the fitting on there. So now it's fully seated. Now I lubed up my AN fitting, and you just insert it, and then you're gonna compress it with your weight on there, or get some pressure on there, and then you're gonna turn your dash 8 or whatever size fitting wrench on there as well, and it's gonna start catching the threads. It should thread on smoothly. If it doesn't, stop. Otherwise you're gonna cross thread this. This is not that strong. The hose is stronger than the fitting. And that is the complete product. And then you just do it on the other end, and then you go put it on the car. With this Fore fuel system, we ended up reusing the factory Dash 6 fuel rails provided by Whipple. However, you do need to plug them off because you no longer use the factory port, so it's Dash 6. Vibrant sells a plug, or you could get a normal AN plug. Alright, so this is a S550 Fore Innovations Level 2 fuel system, so it's a little bit different than the S197. You have your FPDM relay right here in the back seat. Tap into the yellow wire with the gray tracer. You're going to have that as your power. And then, can't really mess these up. You take the two smaller lines, which, where did I put the other ones? Right here. This is the connectors from the old fuel pump module that would go into your old fuel hat. And these are for the fuel float senders. So you just, I wanted to make this nice, so I split it and then taped it all up, and now I'm gonna tidy everything up, and then we'll be able to button this all up. But you have your power, which goes here. I tucked it underneath the trim, and then it goes up. I have the fuse in that kick box right there, and then it goes to the battery. So that's what's going on with that. And then this is grounded, obviously, don't gotta worry about that. And then these are the individual wires, and make sure everything is tight. So that's it. I'll show the plumbing in a little bit. Is the car gonna be in action?
Oh yeah, dude. We got this jet fuel right here. About to put in this bitch.
Shit. I'm ready whenever you are. One thing to annotate on this is that we did set the fuel pressure regulator, but the fuel flow route is the same as my previous one, where it goes from the tank to your filter to the fuel rails, and then it goes back to the regulator, back to the tank. Pressure regulator, you know, we're burping the coolant system. Car start up, no problems. Look at that. 45 psi. This is just a coolant leak from earlier, but we fixed it. I gotta fix that. That's gonna get fixed, and then that's it. You know, we get it. Fuel system done. No leaks. Data log done right now, just slow revs, and then we'll take it off the jack stands, and that's about it, you know. Really happy with it. Everything came out right. All right, so I had the cam position sensor intermittent code, PO340P0344, and found a loose ground on the passenger side motor mount, tightened it up, took it for a drive today, good as new. Ain't getting no codes, got on it. Cams are trimming fine and seen timing being added, so VCT is working and we're good to go. This was the ground on the passenger side motor mount that was just hanging out there, so obviously replaced it, put radials on the car, and we're gonna see what it does.
We're still trying to get enough of a head so we can see the switches and then make an adjustment.
Just finished at the track. How'd we do?
It went.
It did go. Taylor, how'd we do at the track today?
Great! I had an awesome time. I learned a lot.
Yeah, we did learn a lot.
Phil, how'd we do tonight, boss?
Terrible.
Terrible! Oh, wow.
All right, so you see the knock? You see how it's trimming negative? It's good. Fixed. No codes. Fuck you, Ford. I really fought the car a lot at Mobile. You could see the first pass I blew the tires off, so to prevent it from wheel hopping and dead hooking and breaking something, I just clutched in. Second pass, I missed the clutch tamer tune-up on it, and my clutch pedal actually got stuck halfway actuated the whole entire pass, so I was just trying to baby the car and get it off the track. Third pass happened. The rear end kind of porpoised a little, but I think I started to get a good grip on how the car was performing then. I love driving on the radials. It's way more stable on the top end especially, and I love the fact I can street drive on the radials. See, the car's loaded up. We're going on a road trip south of the border. So if y'all know what that means, we're going to Mexico. So this was my first attempt at no prep racing and my little test spot. That was on the 2.9 pulley, 20% lower, which is what I race at the track on. That's obviously too much power. So I started going into the car, seeing how much suspension travel I had because it didn't look like the nose was coming up at all. And then I plotted the car, got it weighed, and this is the findings. One of the key things with the S197, with it being a solid axle car, is this thing right here. This is your upper control arm I'm sure you heard me talk about it before, but as you can see in the video, on slicks, the car would just roll over the tire, and after plotting it, I had too much anti-squat in the car, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bump the upper control arm into this bolt hole, because everything else is plotted on the car now, and I'm gonna ride out with it at this new setting. With the S197, it's all solid bushings on my car, so what I've been doing is measure with a trusty tape measure here. I'm gonna impromptu this. You're gonna measure from center to center of each bolt hole. And it appears it's in the center. And you look at where it lines up here, which is about 9.5 inches, which is ideal. Gives me -2 degrees pinion angle, and the car likes it on a radial, especially if you're gonna do radial stuff. This is really good, but for a slick, I think it's too much anti-squat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the upper control arm and put in this bolt hole up here to take the instant center and move it a little bit more forward on the car. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, put it back in the car, and then I got the slicks on them, we're gonna go test it. All right, so we're making another change, right, to turn the car around. So I pulled all the power out. I got this absolute dinner plate of a pulley on the car now. Take all the power out. And then also, to promote weight transfer and get the front end to come up, we're going from my 26-inch front runner to my 28-inch front runner to raise that front end up. So it should be a big difference, I hope. And if not, we're gonna start moving more bar angles around. So we touched the upper control arm already. Now it's time to move the lower control arms at this point, because we want that instant center to be kind of on the longer side. Some folks will say, like Kevin Wilson says, like around 50 inches would be really nice, because the shorter you make that instant center, the faster the rear end is gonna respond. And with no prep, you don't have a lot to really make work. You want the car to kind of hook immediately, but with this being a 6-shift car, it's not going to do that. So some wheel speed is favorable. However, you know, I got to get out there, test, and get the data myself. All right, so we had a pretty good test session last time out with the car, so now we're gonna pulley down just a little bit. So I went from a 3.6 now, which is right here, the dinner plate, to a 3.3. And this is my biggest grip tech pulley. 3.3, so I'm gonna put that on. The current belt for the 3.6 does fit, however, it's loose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a tight belt for the 3.3, but I'm gonna measure it with this string, and then we're gonna put it on the car, and then hopefully it stretches, and I can also run it on the 3.6 pulley, because I think that's what's gonna happen, because my belt I use, it stretches, so it's super tight the first time, and then, you know, it stretches and everything, because it's a blower and the tensioner is working, and then that's kind of it. So now I'm gonna see if I can use that same logic on this. All right, so I just noticed when I was working on the car, I'm putting some street tires on it because I'm gonna drive it on the street. This is damn near making contact with the car, with the chassis. So, well, I'm gonna cut this thing, you know, saw it down. It's probably right there. Do it on both sides, and maybe that's why the car hasn't been squatting, but, you know, time to live and learn. This video is all over the place. It's over the span of a few months, but we're getting my car ready for a no prep race, and then I go up to Chicago, hang out with Killshot Racing. He has a no prep race. I'm there helping him in whatever I can do, and this is his car. It's a turbo stick shift Gen 1 Mustang with MT82, 76mm turbo, I believe. Back to Florida, there's this rubber stop in the spring on the S197. I took that out, I sawed it down, because if it doesn't, it's going to bottom out and cause the car to unload. So this was our final opportunity to test. We had the no prep race on May 3rd, but then leading up to May 3rd, there was weather. Obviously, it rained, and they got the track dried up, but obviously the car improved. We put 300 pounds of sand to ballast the car. We did have to raise the spring perches a little bit, but this is how it went.
was a 7.5 with a 1.760 foot. So, you know, I think kind of got a grip on this now. That was just free footing it, but yeah, solid pass.
So after first round, they ended up calling the race due to the rain. There were 7 cars that showed up for the stick shift class. Had a great time putting this event on. Shout out to Garrett from Second Shift Racing, Jay from Killshot Racing, and Pegalos for helping me get the car dialed in, along with my buddy Mark and everyone else that was with me. Couldn't thank everyone enough. My crew also with Scott. He really helped me get a grip on no prep racing this car, and I had a fun time.
What? I'm not gonna get you.